Tonight, Trump's judge saves him again. The Trump-appointed judge, Aileen Cannon, who, of course, has made a number of rulings in Trump's favor, is coming out now in full force yet again, blocking the release of special counsel Jack Smith's final report in his cases against Trump. This comes after Cannon's jaw-dropping decision to entirely wipe out the classified documents case 6 months ago. Trump, of course, celebrating Cannon's decision. Today, as we learn, his attorneys have been able to review the special counsel's report in recent days.
So if they're not allowed to issue the report, that's the way it should be, because he was thrown off the case in disgrace. Why should he be allowed to write a fake report? It'll only be a fake report. That's great news.
Well, they saw the report, and that was when, of course, they decided that they didn't want anyone else to see it. Out front now, Ty Cobb, the former Trump White House lawyer. So, Ty, Judge Aileen Cannon tonight, Trump's knight in shining armor.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she's very reliable on his behalf.
I mean, very reliable, and so much so that today, after this news came out that she was going to block the report, he had that press conference. And in addition to talking about Panama and Greenland, he talked about her. In fact, he talked about her repeatedly. Here he is.
We had a brilliant judge in Florida. She was a brilliant judge with great courage. Judge Cannon was brilliant and tough. She was very, very strong and very, very brilliant. Very strong and a very brilliant judge.
That's 5 times using the word brilliant. Why do you think, Ty, Cannon blocked the report?
Well, to the extent that she's brilliant, she's shining. And the only reason she's shining is she's his tool, and he polishes her religiously. He gets the results he needs from her. The 11th Circuit has already, as we know, over 2 years ago, had to admonish her extensively for the rules that and the remedies that she created out of whole cloth for him after the Mar-a-Lago search, and made it clear that she was way out of bounds and overruled her. I suspect they will do so again quickly. In fact, I think strategically, one of the mistakes here is that had they only gone to Judge Cannon, this would have probably delayed things a little longer than going simultaneously to Judge Cannon and the 11th Circuit. But as we know, the 11th Circuit has already asked the Justice Department to respond tomorrow morning, which suggests that they may be prepared to mitigate the stain that she is and the stain that she's created again for the judiciary quickly on this.
So Smith's office, Jack Smith's office, says Garland has not actually yet determined whether he would even publicly release the report. But that if it's released, it comes Friday morning at the earliest. We know Trump's team had a chance to see it, and that's when they took great umbrage with its release. So would you be surprised if Garland doesn't go ahead and release it at this point, especially given the context of the scrutiny on him for the long time it took for the Justice Department to bring charges in the first place?
So I would be surprised, not because of any pressures or timing, but just historically, these reports get released. Now, they don't get released necessarily word for word. They're typically redactions. There will likely be redactions in this case, particularly as to the 2 potential defendants whose case may move forward once the 11th Circuit reverses Judge Cannon, as they are almost certainly to do with regard to her ruling that the special counsel statute was unconstitutional and Smith had no authority. So I think they will be cautious and lawyerly about that. But as to the release of special counsel reports, that's a decision entrusted by the statute, the special counsel statute, and internal Justice Department policies solely to the Attorney General. The courts don't really have a role in connection with that, and absent highly unusual circumstances, which these are not. So yes, I would be surprised if the report is not released, assuming that happens before January 20th. After January 20th, of course, all bets are off, and 2 of the lawyers who signed the briefs for Trump and in this matter today will be the number 2 and number 3 officials at the Justice Department. So I think we know how that will go.
Yeah. All right. Of course, that means the clock is ticking here. Ty, thanks.